know,
Yeah, go for it.
the one thing I always forget about is that we keep thinking, yeah, when it gets down here, we're going to buy, but we should also remember that we can buy on the way up as well. So
Correct.
if it hit that, bottom line, it's not too late. You've got a little while on the way back up to get a really good price too.
Yeah, and do you know what you said is actually the safest way to get in the market? So what happens is, let's say it's a typical, rounding out. So the market, however it dumps, doesn't matter. The market will always, fanny about a bit. Then eventually it's going to start making its way up, right? There always, every market, some sort of bum line, some sort of bottoming out line, okay? Now, in terms of ROTI, your return on time invested, the safe or the best damn time to get into the market from a ROTI perspective is here. Because you have all of the pain in the past, it's all in the rearview mirror, and now the market is sort of entering its burgeoning phase, as in its rising phase, and therefore you have a higher propensity that the market will go up if you're accumulating in this area here. Once it's, say, broken whatever key level it is. So in fact, not even getting in down here, that's just being too ambitious. You're going to miss out on, obviously, the squeaky lows, which, by the way, you should say to yourself right now, I will not get in at the bottom. Your accumulation process, that is actually the safest place to get into Bitcoin. Now, is this accumulation process Q1 of 2023? I don't think so. Is it more likely to be Q4 of 2023? Most likely. I think there's way more probability it's going to be Q4, Q3 2023. Or however, it all depends how fast regulation will take. So, you know what politicians and policymakers are like. Even if they all want to do the same thing, they've got to get freaking lawyers to draft documents. They've got to circulate the draft documents. People are not going to be happy with the draft. They're going to add their suggestions. It goes back to the solicitors. They've got to take in everyone's suggestion. They've got to make another draft. Everyone happy with the draft? No. One more suggestion. Anyone? And now everyone happy with the draft? Yes. Okay, now we can make the official thing. You then circulate the official document. Someone else is not happy. There's always some bastard that's not happy. Goes back to another draft. Happy with the draft? Now back for the final thing. Everyone finally signs this, the final bill, whatever. Everyone's happy. That whole freaking process can sometimes take a year. Getting something approved in a year in government speak is blindingly fast. Pushing through a massive bill, regulation, whatever. In terms of crypto, I think the fastest they could do all this is 6 months. Absolute fastest. Therefore, I just think Q3, Q4 really is where we're going to see this sort of phase. And that is the safest way. Because all the shit is behind you. All the big crashes. So yeah, you're basically giving up the sweet juicy lows. You're just saying to yourself, I'm not going to do this because this is risky. You never know. You could be buying up here thinking it's the way out, and then the market crashes another 90%. And then you're in a situation where you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Everyone said, Siam even said 12, 13K was the, this could be the 12, 13K level. Everyone loads up around here. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, Binance dies or whatever, and it now drops to 3 to 4K. By the way, I don't think this will happen. But what I see, the fallout from that is, every person under the sun said 12, 13K was where the lows would possibly be. Even Siam said it many times, but then it just crashed. And then you're stuck. So the example I gave earlier of, someone being stuck at, buying around 30K, well, this could be the same equivalent, being stuck in at 12, 13K when Bitcoin actually bottoms out around here. So, yeah, what Erjan said is correct. That's the safest way. You're definitely missing out on the sweet juicy lows. So, with all of that in mind, again, you've got to look at things on both areas. You could take your pot. In fact, let's draw another. So we're here now, right? Let's say we're at 18K Bitcoin. You could, in fact, halve your pot, for example. I'm spitballing here. So in fact, let's just say your pot is 10 grand, just to be. So you got a 5 grand pot, which you could chop into fives, as in 5 chunks. So you're basically going to use this half to try and ladder in on the downwards phase, and then this half to ladder in on the upwards phase. So you basically got 5 bullets of £1,000. So you could do £1,000, boom, boom, boom. So it's 5. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you could just do an easy. I mean, you can get as complex as you want. You could take that 5 grand and chop that 5 grand up into 70 and 30% chunks. But I don't know. Let's just be simple. Just go boom, 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 boom. So you're laddering in everything for 12, something like that. The market could, it could do this. And then eventually on the way up, you go, you do it on the way up as well. That's another way to do it. So that way you can try and get in some sweet juicy lows around here, and you can also do your swing trade, etc. And then keeping half the pot into something else. Just wait. But then this leaves us with the next question, which, again, you already know my answer. And the question is, okay, Simon, what if you're right? Let's say, worst case scenario, we don't see the inevitable bull market till let's say Q4 2023. What then? Like, what am I going to put my money in for the whole year? Am I just going to sit in cash for a whole year? Well, what's the upside and what's the downside of that? Well, just do your risk to reward seesaw. Staying in cash for a whole year, the risk is inflation or basically purchasing power. Now, thankfully, the currency supply is actually contracting in the US, so actually it may not hurt that much. What is the reward? You're getting optionality, as in, if the markets do go considerably lower, you can actually get, you still got your pot you got all the bullets to buy in at the sweet juicy lows, because this bottoming process could be around 8k instead of 13k. So actually, the risk to reward means, cash is actually a good deal.